Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Sarvebhyah Arambam Kurmah. Adya vayam session 7 चर्चयिष्यामः. तस्मिन् जीवतत्त्वम् इति किञ्चित् चर्चयिष्यामः अग्रे. कुत्र स्मः इति एकवारं पश्यामः. वयं प्रमाणानि दृष्टानि अस्माभिः प्रमाणानि दृष्टानि, अपि तु तत्र नाम शब्द एव आधिक्यं वहते इति अपि श्रुतम् अस्माभिः. अपि तु भगवत्तत्त्व इति सन्दर्भे वयं नाम हरि एव सर्वोत्तमः, अपि तु तस्य शक्तयः विषये नाम कोटित्रयम् आसीत्. अन्तरङ्गशक्तिः, बहिरङ्गशक्तिः, अपि तु तटस्थशक्तिः इति. पश्चात् रसविषये नाम पञ्चमुख्यरसाः, अपि तु सप्त गौणरसाः भवन्ति. तस्य आधारः नाम विषयः श्रीकृष्णः भवति. कथं वा आदानप्रदान भवति, नाम कथं वा सः अखिलरसामृतमूर्तिः इति तं कथ्यन्ते इति सः इति अपि चर्चितम्. अपि तु एकं
गौण नाम
सेकेंडरी, मुख्य नाम मेन, गौण नाम सेकेंडरी. ओके. अपि तु एकं नाम लीला अपि वयं एकां लीलाम् अपि वयं चर्चितं, यत्र सः अग्रजेन सह श्रीकृष्णः प्रविशति. तस्मिन् रेस्लिंग अरेना मध्ये यदा सः प्रविशति, तत्र सर्वे तम् अन्यथा नाम यत् तेषां भावः तद्रीत्या तं पश्यन्ति. अतः सः अपि तेषां तं रीत्या एव दर्शयति, नाम तद्रीत्या एव दर्शयति इति वयं दृश्यं. नाम मल्लानाम् अशनिर्नृणां तद् श्लोकं पठितम्. अपि तु इदानीम् अत्र वयम् अद्य जीवतत्त्वं चर्चयिष्यामः. बहवः लैक् नाम अंशत्रयमेव अस्ति अत्र. नाम एकं तु विभिन्नांशाः जीवाः इति, नाम तेषां स्वरूपं किम् इति विभिन्नांशाः इति कथ्यन्ते. अंशाः भवेत्, संसान् इति उक्तमत्र. ओके. अपि तु प्रकृतेः यदा ते नाम इन्फ्लुयेन्स् अनुभवन्ति, तदा ते बद्धाः भवन्ति. अपि तु यदा ते नाम भक्त्यां प्रगतिं कुर्वन्ति, तदा शनैः विमुक्तिम् अनुभूय ते अपि नाम नित्यमुक्ताः भवितुम् अर्हन्ति इति. अतः भावात् नाम एतद् प्रेम नाम भक्त्याम् एक स्तर अस्ति, भाव इति. आदौ श्रद्धा, साधुसंग, भजनक्रिया, अनर्थनिवृत्ति, निष्ठा, रुचि, आसक्ति, भाव, प्रेम इति लैक् उत्तमस्तर इति. अग्रे वयं साधनानि यदा चर्चयिष्यामः तदा चर्चयिष्यामः अत्र नाम भाव किं भवति इति. ओके. अद्य वयं जीवतत्त्वं चर्चयिष्यामः एतेषां. तद् भिन्नांशाः जीवाः. जीवतत्त्वं जीवतत्त्वं विषये प्रथमं वयं चर्चयिष्यामः. नाम स्वरूपं, जीवस्य स्वरूपं किं, नाम तस्य गुणगणाः के, नाम स्वरूपे गुणगणाः के. Spiritual entity, Jiva nama spiritual entity. So what are the characteristics of the Jiva? as discussed in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and other literatures by Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. That we will discuss first. And then there are two categories, Koti Dvayam Asti. Within the Jivas, Nitya Baddhaha, Nitya Muktaha iti. Katam te bhavanti tesham nama lakshanani tatra lakshanani kim kani iti vayam charchayishyamah. Okay? Okay. Adau Jīva-tattvam. So Jiva Swarupam kim bhavati iti. Okay? कोऽपि पठितुं शक्नोति. दीपक् पठितुं शक्नोति वा?
हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
वदतु.
मम एवांश जीवलोके जीवभूत सनातनः मनः षष्ठानि इन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति. भगवद्गीता अध्याय 15.7.
Good job. Okay. ममैवांशः जीवलोके जीवभूतः मा प्राणभू बा दीपक. ओके. जीवभूतः. ओके. सनातनः मनः षष्ठानि इन्द्रियाणि अत्र सवर्णदीर्घसन्धि षष्ठानि इन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति इति उक्तमासीत् अत्र भगवद्गीता 15 चैप्टर मध्ये. भावार्थः भवति. महारथी पठतु.
जीवभूतः भावार्थः जीवभूतः जीवः जीवलोके संसारे मम एव सनातनः अंशः प्रकृतौ स्थितैः मनसा इन्द्रियैः च बहुविधाम् अनुभवति.
ओके. विच नाम गैप न दत्वा एकवारं नाम सरेण पठतु. नाम एज ए फ्लो. रीड नाइसली एज ए फ्लो.
जीवभूतः जीवः जीवलोके संसारे मम एव सनातनः अंशः प्रकृतौ स्थितैः मनसा इन्द्रियैः च बहुव्यथाम् अनुभवति.
ओके. So avagatam kalu. Jīvabhūtah nama jīvah, living entity. That's a general name we call jīvah. Jīvaloke nama samsare. Jīvanam prapanchah adikyataya. Nama jīvaha vaikunte api nama goloke api santi. Parantu atra Bhagavad Gītāyam Bhagavan samsarasya vishe vadati. Ataha जीवलोके नाम संसारे मम एव सनातनः अंशः. तो जीवः कः इत्युक्ते कृष्णस्य. मम नाम मैन्. कृष्णस्य एव सनातनः नाम एटर्नल अंशः पार्ट. ओके. अंशः नाम पार्ट. my. So Krishna is saying Jiva is my eternal part. Okay. Prakrutau sthitai. Prakrutau nama material world. Prakruti nama material world. Prakrutau is a saptami vibhakti. Prakrutau sthitaihi manasa indriyaihi cha bahu vyatham anubhavati. Manasa means with the mind, indriyahi with the senses. This jiva is experiencing vyatha, pida, lot of distress, experiencing anubhavati. And all this mana and indriya are situated in the prakriti. Right? Prakrutau sthitaihi iti. Prakriti nama bhumi rapo analo vayo kammano buddhirevacha iti uktam purva shloke eva bhavati tat. Okay. So this is the like definition of jiva. Okay. Namantarani jivaha kshetrajnaha. Kshetrajna nama kshetram nama place. Okay. Place. Kshetram janati iti kshetrajnaha. Okay. So the living entity knows this body. Tasya जीवस्य क्षेत्रं किम् इत्युक्ते शरीरं. तस्य शरीरमेव तस्य क्षेत्रं. परन्तु भगवद्गीतायाम् अन्यत् क्षेत्रज्ञः इति अपि अस्ति. भगवान् एव वदति अहमेव अन्यः क्षेत्रज्ञः इति. सः सर्वशरीराणि जानन्ति. ओके. अतः सः यू कैन से बृहत् क्षेत्रज्ञः. ओके. or rather yeah I don't know pullinga king vadati, but yeah paramatma iti vadanti kalu. Okay. Api the living entity and soul, these are all the different names we give for the jiva. Okay. So let's move to the next one. Dvividaha amshaha. So amshaha api, amshe api dvaividyam asti. Etad kinchit shastriyam. Tatra dvivida amshaha swamshaha vivinnamshascha. Okay, there are two types of amshas. The parts of Krishna are two types. One is called swamshaha, means swasya amshaha iti swamshaha. Another one is called vibhinna amshaha, means vibhinna amshaha, separated parts. Vibhinna means separate parts. The definition for vibhinna amsha vayam chachayishyama agre. Okay, vibhinna amshaha tatastha shaktyatmakaha jivaha iti vakshyate. Okay, विभिन्नांशाः के ते विभिन्नांशाः इत्युक्ते तटस्थ शक्त्यात्मकाः. So they are within the tatastha shakti. तद्वयं चर्चितं पूर्वमेव. अपि तु जीवाः इति नामान्तराणि इति वक्ष्यते. Okay, it's told like that. Okay, स्वांशास्तु गुणलीलाद्यवतारभेदेन विविधाः. स्वांशाः के भवन्ति इत्युक्ते गुणलीलावताराः स्वांशाः भवन्ति. नाम स्वस्य एव अंशाः. नाम तत्र कोट्यां नाम स्वरूपे कोऽपि भेदः नास्ति. उदाहरणमपि वयम् अग्रे चर्चयिष्यामः के भवन्ति इति. आदौ स्वांशाः चर्चयिष्यामः. स्वांशाः नाम स्वरूपशक्तिविशिष्टाः कृष्णस्य अंशाः. सो तेषामपि कृष्णस्य स्वरूपमेव भवन्ति. नाम कृष्णस्य स्वरूपं किं? सच्चिदानन्दविग्रहः खलु. सो ते अपि नाम वैकुण्ठे नारायणावताराः, अपि तु वराह, मत्स्यकूर्मवराह इत्यादयः ते सर्वे स्वांशाः भवन्ति. ओके, सो वयं पूर्वं भगवत्तत्त्वं यदा वयं चर्चितं तत्र एव दृष्टं. नाम शक्तौ कोऽपि भेदः नास्ति, स्वरूपे अपि कोऽपि भेदः नास्ति, परन्तु ते न प्रदर्शयन्ति, सर्वगुणान् न प्रदर्शयन्ति ते. अतः किञ्चित् भेदः. अतः श्रीकृष्ण एव स्वयं भगवान् इति कथ्यन्ते. अन्ये तस्य अंशाः स्वांशाः इति कथ्यन्ते, अवताराः. परन्तु जीवः तु अन्यत् कोटि भवति, अन्यत् कोट्यां सन्ति. ते भवति विभिन्नांशाः इति. ओके, उदाहरण स्वांशानाम् उदाहरण चतुर्व्यूहः. चतुर्व्यूहः इत्युक्ते वासुदेवः, सङ्कर्षणः, प्रद्युम्नः, अनिरुद्धः इति चतुर्व्यूहः इति कथ्यन्ते. पुरुषत्रयं के इत्युक्ते ये पुरुषत्रयेन एतत् जगत् निर्मीयते. Prapancham, Bhautika Prapancham. Material world is created by the three Purusha avatars. They are Karano Dakashayi Vishnu. That's a Karana, the Mahavishnu is also called. Next one is called Garbho Dakshayi Vishnu. So first, Pratamam Karano Dakshayi Vishnu Pashyati. Nama Mahattattvam. Yet na itopi na Vaividyam nasti tatra. Nama, it is very inert. It's not expressing its variety. That inert matter, that's called pradhana. First he glances, Mahattattvam, he glances. Then the activity starts. Then the universe starts emanating from his pores of his body. Okay, this is Mahavishnu. And then in each of the Narsimha, Nichai vadatu.
चतुर्व्यूहे मध्ये के सन्ति?
अहम् उक्तवती किल. ओके, कः वदति? मारुति, श्रुतं वा? वक्तुं शक्नोति वा? चतुर्व्यूहे के भवन्ति?
वासुदेव, सङ्कर्षण, बलराम, प्रद्युम्न. वासुदेवः,
सङ्कर्षण, अनिरुद्धः, प्रद्युम्नः. ओके, ओके, these are the four. सावधानतया शृणोतु नरसिंह. ओके.
भगिनी, एकः प्रश्नः अस्ति, पृच्छामि वा?
पृच्छतु.
You mentioned Purushatrayam. So Mahavishnu views something, right?
Yes.
Something. That something can be called unmanifest?
Yeah, it's called unmanifested material nature. These are the basic.
Mahavishnu sees that.
Yes, He glances.
Okay.
So that glance is called Shambhu Shakti actually. So basically, Mahavishnu is always above the modes. He doesn't touch the material nature. So, but through his glance, he impregnates the material nature with the living entities. Living entities, when the laya happens, they, after whole creation, there are multiple stages of laya actually. When the Mahapralaya happens, when all the universes get absorbed in his body, then the living entities, or rather the material elements, go merge back into the pradhana, the unmanifested material nature. But the living entities who are souls, they get merged back into his body, and they stay as a sushupti. They will be in a deep slumber. And then again, when the material creation takes place, then the jivas have to be inserted into the material creation. So again, he glances. Then through the glance shakti, the jivas enter into the material creation, and then it all starts acting. And then the finally the bodies are assigned to the jivas. So that's why there are three Purushas for this. So first Purusha is the Karano Dakashayi Vishnu. Is a causal, let's say it's called Mahavishnu. And he glances. Then when he glances, the universes emanate from his body as golden seeds. And that seeds then starts growing bigger. Then he himself, Karano Dakashayi Vishnu, only expands himself as Garbho Dakashayi Vishnu within each of the universes again. So you can think of this Purushatrayam as a super souls, big super souls. So first Karanadaksha Vishnu is the super soul of the entire material manifestation. And Garbhodaksha Vishnu becomes the super soul of the one universe, Brahmanda, one Brahmanda. So he lies down. From his navel comes the Padma, lotus. And on his lotus, Brahma is born. First Brahma, first living entity is born. Okay.
One more
And
Vishnu. One more Vishnu.
Shunotu Vadami. Okay. And then Brahma is born. Then actually when he's born, everything will become dark. Then he's actually tries to go down the lotus stem to figure out, who is my source, what am I supposed to do. Then he couldn't find, because it's like he's trying to go to the source. So he couldn't find. Then he comes back and he gets a message, tapaha, 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 that he has to do tapa. So he goes back to the lotus and then he sits there and meditates for many, many of Brahma years. That's very some number of years. Then Krishna, through his flute sound, he reveals what is his service, and that he has to create this material universe, systematically. And Lord gives him the blueprint, like how it has to be there. And that's why Lord is called the main creator, and Brahma becomes a secondary creator. Then he puts things together. Within the lotus stem, he creates a 14 planetary systems, like that. He arranges everything properly, like that. Now the universe is there. Now then jivas have to be assigned the bodies. So according to the karma, jivas are assigned the bodies. Now, to direct the jivas, the second Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu himself expands as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, as a Paramatma within all the living entities' hearts. Okay, so that is the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu to guide the living entities. And that Kshirodakshaya Vishnu also has a place within the universe. It's called it's called Shvetadvipa, Milk Ocean. That's where he resides. So that's why
Where
time
is
and
that Jīvatattva?
within the universe, in one place it's there. Okay, one place.
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is lying down in the Garbhodaka ocean. Okay, is
Where is
lying
that?
down. That is within the universe. This universe, first when he enters, he fills the universe with half of water coming from his own perspiration. From his own sweat, he fills the ocean, so Brahmanda, with half water. Okay, and he lies down in the ocean, in that Garbhodaka ocean. Okay, and from his navel comes the Brahma. Okay, like that. So what I was saying is, yeah. So, but then within the universe, there's a place called Shvetadvipa. So whenever Brahma and all the devatas, they feel agitated that this universe is getting troubled by demoniac entities and is not able to handle, then Bhumi Devi approaches demigods. Bhumi Devi approaches Brahma, and all of them go to Shvetadvipa. There they ask Narayana, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, please help us. So like that, that's how they get the messages from the Lord. And then the Vishnu says, okay, I'm going to come as Avatara and I'm going to help you. So that's how the whole thing works. So that's why we should understand the Purushatrayam as three Paramatmas. One, Karuna-dakshaya Vishnu, is the Paramatma of the entire material creation. And the second, who is that, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, is the Paramatma of Brahmanda, one universe. And Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is Paramatma within our hearts. Okay, so etat Purushatrayam api, ete api nama Swarupa Shakti Vishishtaha. They are not made of material, their body is not material, they are fully spiritual and completely above the modes, Gunatitaha. Okay, apitu Vaikuntanataha. Bahavaha Vaikunta planets santi. Viraja river, other side of the Viraja river, there are a lot of Vaikunta planets. So each of them have a specific form of Narayana, four-handed forms, based on the way he holds a conch shell and Padma and Gada and Chakra. There are different names given. And then even like, for example, there's a planet for Narsimha, there's a planet for Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, like that, based on this. And then Leela Avataraha Nama Ye Atra Avataranti Nama Rupam Svikurvanti, like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha. When they come here, they become Leelavataras. They come and perform their pastimes. Apita Gunavataraha. Ke Gunavatara ityukte Guna Nama no. Kati Gunaha Santi Kopi Vaktum Shaknoti va? Gunatrayam Vartate Kalu.
सत्त्वरजस्तम
So Sattvagunasya Swarupaha Nama Adhikari Bhavati Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma. Rajasaha Rajo Gunasya Adhikaraha Kaha Bhavati. Sorry, Sattvagunasya Vishnu. Oh, Krishna. Sattvagunasya Vishnu. Rajogunasya Kaha Bhavati.
Brahma.
Brahma. And Tamogunasya Kaha Bhavati. Shiva. Rudra, Shiva. Okay, good. Because Vishnu is like a maintainer, and mode of goodness quality is to maintain. And passion, Rajas is passion to create. So Brahma creates the universe, and Tamas is destruction. So Shiva comes at the end of the universe and does the Tandava Nritya and annihilates the whole universe. Okay, that's how the universe annihilates. Okay, that's how Gunavataraha. So that's the thing. Then Ityadayaha. Okay, now we'll go to Vibhinnamshaha. So, because, to explain that there's a different category, we need to talk about Swamshaha. So, like that we discussed. Now, we'll talk about the main topic, Jivaha. Jivaha, Vibhinnamshaha, kalu. Te Jiva Shakti Vishishtaha. Nama Jiva Shakti asti tatra. Okay. Swarupa Shakti Rahitaha. See, this is the difference. Swarupa Shakti Rahitaha. It's a plural kalu. So this Swarupa Shakti which the Bhagavan and his avatars have, Jivas don't have. So, but they have some potency. But the original full potency of the Lord doesn't have with them. They're very tiny. That's what we'll discuss later. Krishnasya Visheshataha Binnaha Amshaha. Vibinnaha nama kim? Vibinnaha ityuktam kalu. Nama kim ityukte? Visheshataha nama specially Binnaha separated Amshaha parts. They are special separated parts, Jiva. Okay, they're separated. So we'll understand what does it mean separated also. Okay, see, this is what it is. Yata Surya Rashmaya nama sun rays, Sarvada Suryat nama Surya Mandalat, Bahi Tishtanti. See, the sun rays are always outside the sun globe. Correct or no? There is a sun globe, and within that, we discuss in our Nama Puraneshu Uktam asti. Surya Mandale api Suryaha iti Bhagavan asti. Tasya api Parshadaya santi. They are living entities living in the Surya planet. There is whole world over there. Okay, we only see as a globe of light, but there is existence over there. But then this Rashmayaha, these Rashmaya means rays, the particles of the rays, they are far away from the sun globe. Even though they are emanating from the sun, but they are far from it. Understand, right? So similarly, Tata eva Jivaha api Kadapi Krishnasya Sarupa Shaktau na Antarbhutaha. Bhutaha. bhavanti. So even though Jivaha tasya eva amshaha, parantu they are separated. They are tiny and they are separated. There is one category Krishna created like that, like that. Okay. So Jivaha api kadapi Krishnasya Swarupa Shaktau na anturba. So Swarupa Shaktau nama like the antaranga potency. So they cannot be in that category. That's what they're telling. But they can be influenced by Swarupa Shakti. That's how we also become Muktaha. Nityabaddaha, Nityabhuktaha, Katham Bhavati ityukte, Swarupa Shaktyam yada te Sharanam Svikurvanti, Tada eva Bhavati. Parantu, they cannot never become into that category. His categories of Swarupa Shakti are all his expansions and potencies, like Radharani, Gopis, or even his own, personal servants. They all become his own personal expansions. But Jivas are a different category. Okay, Muktau api te vibhinna amsha eva bhavanti. So they will never become a part of Swarupa Shakti, but they will be influenced by Swarupa Shakti. Okay, that little bit we can understand with this analogy. How the particles of the rays are separated from the original source. Okay. So now, udaharanam Jivaha. Okay, now, Kidrishaha Amshaha iti vayam pashyamaha. These are all now symptoms of the Jiva, or the characteristics or lakshanani of Jiva. Okay. Kopi patitum shaknoti va, Bhargavi Bhagini, Narsimha patatu.
ज्ञानश्रयो ज्ञानगुणस्य
सम्यक्तया वदतु, सावधानतया वदतु. ज्ञानाश्रयो.
ज्ञानाश्रयो ज्ञानगुणश्चेतनः प्रकृतेः परः न जातो निर्विकारश्च एकरूपस्वरूपभाक् अणुर्नित्यो व्याप्तिशीलश्चिदानन्दात्मकस्तथा अहमर्थो व्ययः चेत्री भिन्न तत्र
Avyaya. Ahamartho
अस्ति
avyaya. You can tell.
अहमर्थो व्ययः चेत्री भिन्नरूपः सनातनः अदाह्योच्छेद्योक्लेद्य अशोष्याक्षर एव च एवमादिगुणैर्युक्तः शेषभूतः परस्य वै जीवः परमात्मसन्दर्भः
Jiva
उत्तमं
Goswami.
नरसिंह महोदय उत्तमं
सः हसन् अस्ति. Okay. So Jiva Goswami Paramatma Sandarbhe एतत् लक्षणानि एतानि लक्षणानि उक्तम्. Okay. प्रथमं तु परस्य नाम परमेश्वरस्य नाम कृष्णस्य शेषभूतः, बिकास् अंशः, अतः शेषभूतः. वै नाम इण्डीड्, एवमादि गुणैः उक्ताः. So these are all the gunaihi, qualities of the Jiva. So we'll take one by one. Okay. So we discuss this image. So Jivas, they are different varieties and they go through the cycle of birth and death. Okay. So now let's discuss each of the gunas one by one. Okay. Parameshwarasya vastutah sevakah Jivah. Vayam charchitam kalu. What is this? Jivasya Jīvarasvarupah hoye Krishnera Nityadasah iti. So the eternal constitutional position of the Jiva is Krishna's Nityadasa. Kopi jananti, like kopi janati, kopi na janati. Kopi bahiranga shaktim sevam karoti, kopi antaranga shaktim sevam karoti. Okay. Okay, that's the only difference. But otherwise, everybody is Krishna's servants. Okay, other one is, okay, now Jnanashrayaha. Nama Jnanasya Adharaha. Jnani. So the Jiva, actually the Jiva is full of knowledge. Of course, his knowledge is limited because he's Anu. Okay, just as because Jivaha ekam jnatavyam. जीवः यतोहि सः भगवतः अंशः अतः भगवतः गुणाः तस्मिन्नपि सन्ति परन्तु न्यूनतया नाम very little quantity of Lord's qualities we have. Same. The Lord wants to enjoy. We also want to enjoy. Lord has Satchidananda, right? So we are also eternal. We also have Sat means we exist. We also have knowledge. Chitra is knowledge, and we also like to enjoy Ananda, but in a tiny quantity. Jnana gunaha. Jnanam eva gunaha yasya saha jnana swarupaha. Both are same, but I'm just doing the Paryay vachi of explaining each of the terms. Chetanaha nama chetana yuktaha jivan. So there is life, that's why it's called Chetanaha. Prakrute paraha. So he is also atitaha. Actually, Jiva is also gunatitaha, living entity, because Parashakti iti vayam uktam kalu. Jiva api Parashakti iti Bhagavan uktam. Bhagavanena Bhagavata uktam. Ataha parantu prakrutau, because material energy is so vast, it gets tiny jiva gets influenced and covered. Okay, but that is just an artificial covering. But actually, he's above the modes. Because of misidentification with the body, thinking that we are the body, we get influenced by the modes. But actually, he is above the modes. It's not touched by the modes. It's because it's spiritual completely. Na jataha, na kadapi jataha. So he's there, eternally there. It's not that at one point he's got created. Okay, nirvikaraha, vikara rahitaha. So he doesn't go through any transformations. In material world, there are 6 transformations anything goes through. Asti, so it stays there, then it grows, then it transforms, then it dwindles. It stays for some time, then it dwindles, and then finally it vanquishes. These are the 6 transformations. It's anything goes through. Anything you take. First, for example, let's take a tree. So first it starts as a bija. So it grows. Then it stays for some time. It generates something, fruits, flowers, everything. Then slowly it becomes deteriorated and finally it disappears. Anything in the material world has all the 6 transformations. But the soul doesn't have any transformations. Ekarupa Swarupa Bhak. Nama Swarupataha Ekarupa Vishishtaha. Nama, there is only one form for it, one spiritual form for it, if we realize the spiritual form. Okay? Anuhu. Okay? Paramanohu api sukshmaha. So, etad uktamasti Svetashvatara Upanishadi Balagrashata Bhagasya Shatada Kalpitasya cha Bhago Jiva Saha Vigneyaha Saha cha Anantyaya Kalpate. Okay. So Bala, the hair, if you take one hair, Kesham ekam svikritya, Tatra Agrima Bhaga, now the front part of the hair, make 100 parts. And within the 100 part, now you make one more 100 parts. That is the size of the soul. You understood, right? Take the part of the hair, the tip of the hair, now you make 100 parts. And within that 100 part, now each part take one part and make one more 100 parts. So that is the size of the soul. Okay. The size of the soul is also given. It's very, very tiny. Okay. Nityaha, nasha rahitaha. Okay. So even though, shariram nashyati, parantu jivaha na nashyati. Okay. So, एतस्मिन् सन्दर्भे कोऽपि श्लोक स्मरति वा? Shloka in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that you didn't study the meaning, so I should tell the beginning, I think. No, there is one shloka where Krishna says that the material body perishes, but the Jiva never perishes. It's in 2nd chapter, the beginning part. Okay? So if you have time, you can check later. Okay. Apitu, okay, next one. Vyapti-शीलः नाम जडशरीरे सर्वत्र व्याप्तः. वदतु वातांसि जीर्णानि.
वातांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि.
Yeah, that says that Jiva is changing the bodies. But there is another one. Tadapi vadatu. Ha. Shanai vadatu.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यश्शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे.
Yeah. So that's when he's saying that there is no birth and death for the soul. But there's another shloka. Anyway, leave it. Okay. Chidanandatmakaha. Narsimha. Chidanandatmakaha nama. Somewhere it's echoing. Okay. Chidanandatmakaha nama. Jnana Ananda Swarupaha. See, Sachidanandaha iti yuktam kalu. Aham artaha. Nama aham iti padasya vachyaha. Saha. Aham. When we say aham, see, I like this, right? Who is that I? That I is the soul. You know, we don't say, we don't show the hand and say I, right? Hand, my hand we say, my leg we say, my head we say. So who is that person who possessing all of this? That is the aham. Aham is the jiva. Aham iti padasya vachyaha. That I is the soul living within this body. Okay? Hrudi tishtati. Avyayaha na kshiyate. It cannot be destroyed. Okay? So another verse is there in Bhagavad Gita, right? Which says that, what is that? Yeah. Achedyoyam vadatu. Maharati vadatu.
अच्छेद्वयमदाह्योऽयमक्लेद्योषोष्येव च इत्यस्सर्वतस्थाणुरचलोऽयं सनातनः.
Other one, nainam chindanti.
नैनं चिन्तन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चेदं क्लेदेन चापो न शोचयति मारुतः.
See, shastrani api na cheditum shaknoti. Apitu anyat avyaktoyam.
अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयमयुगाद्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं वेत्त्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि.
Yeah. So these are all the characteristics of soul given in second chapter by Sri Krishna. Okay. Kshetri nama kshetre stitaha shariradhari iti. So he is situated in the body, right? So kshetri. Kshetram tasya asti iti kshetrin iti. Kshetri bhavati. Okay. Binna rupaha. Bhagavataha pritak rupa yuktaha. भिन्नांसः इति वयं चर्चितं खलु तदेव सनातनः अनादिनिधनः नादादितः सः वर्तते अदाह्यः अग्निना न दह्यते वयं श्लोके पठितम् अपि तु अच्छेद्यः न छिद्यते you cannot break the soul into pieces. Okay, that's the thing, and it cannot be burnt by the fire. Okay, next one is akledyah nama jalena na klidyate. You cannot make it wet. Soul cannot make it wet. That's why Narsimha Purvam Bhavan Prishnavan Kalu Nama Katam va Surya Mandale Jīvah santi iti. Because the soul cannot be burnt. Understand?
परन्तु तेषां body भवति body.
Yes, body bhavati tad anugurantaya bhavati. No, that type of body they get. Okay, yeah. Ashoshyah nama vayuna na shushyate. Okay, vayuna na shushyate. Aksharah na nashyati. Okay, it cannot be destroyed. I think these are basics we discussed. Okay, next one. This is the example how the body grows, the soul remains the same. See, when we are a baby, we say it's me. Like let's say when the 4-year-old boy, he fights. This is my pen, my book. And when he's a young boy, still he says, this is my friend, my house. Okay. So the body is changing, but the soul, the element of aham is the same. So similarly, at the end of when the body gets very deteriorated, the soul continues to take on new bodies, but it doesn't get destroyed. Okay. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Many bodies. You have changed, Arjuna. You don't remember all of this, but I remember them. In the 4th chapter, he says. Okay. Yes. Okay. Then we'll continue. Okay. Apitu agre kutra sharire saha vasati ityukte krutsthaniyah. Hrudi. Near the location of the heart, he stays. The jiva. Alpa swatantriya yuktaha. Because yatohi Sri Krishna is completely independent. He has full independence. That's why the Jiva, because being the part and parcel of Krishna, also has the independence. This is called free will in technical terms. We have free will and we have the independence also. Even though we are so tiny, we have tiny free will. Okay. So based on how we use this free will, that is when it determines whether we are stuck in the cycle of birth and death, or we can go to the spiritual world eternally and live there. Okay, because atra maya vashyah kalu nama maya dvayam asti, yoga maya apitu mahamaya, or antaranga shakti bahiranga shakti. Antaranga shaktyam vayam charchitam kalu nama ete swamshaha, no sorry, ete nitya muktaha agre bhavishyanti te antaranga shaktyam stitva eva भगवतः आराधनं सेवां कुर्वन्ति. परन्तु यदि वयं मायाशक्त्या वश्यः भवामः, तदा वयं एन्जाय् कुर्मः, नाम भोगं कुर्मः प्रपञ्चम् अस्माकं सन्तोषार्थम्. अतः वयं we have to go through the reactions as set according to the rules of the material nature. There is no escape. But while staying in this world, if we still take shelter of the internal potency, Antaranga Shakti, still we can raise above the modes and the influence of the material creation. That's what we will discuss later. Okay? Apitu Adhyatmika Rupamasti Tasya. Nama, there is a spiritual body for the soul. It's not, right now we say it's so tiny, it's like a spark, right? But based on the desire and the relationship rasa with the Lord, he can, the spiritual body can be, what to say, he can take the spiritual form fully and serve the Lord in appropriate pastimes. Okay, like that. So we'll discuss to the next category now, Kotidvayam. Okay, Kotidvayam किं भवति इत्युक्ते एतदपि किञ्चित् बृहत् अस्ति. ओके, कः पठति? भार्गवी भगिनी पठितुं शक्नोति वा? एतत् कारिका एव, नाम साधारणतया पठितुं शक्नोति, गातुं न आवश्यकम्.
ओके. तत् एवम् अनन्ताः एव जीवाख्याः तटस्थाः शक्तयः. तत्र तासां वर्गद्वयम्. एकः वर्गः अनादितः एव भगवत् उन्मुखः, अन्यतु अनादित एव भगवत् पराङ्मुखः. स्वभावतः तदीय ज्ञानभावात् तदीय ज्ञान अभावात् च. तत्र प्रथमः अन्तरङ्गशक्ति विलासानुगृहीतो नित्य भगवत् परिकररूपो गरुडादिकः. अपरः तु तत्पराङ्मुखत्व दोषेण छिद्रयामायया परिभूतः संसारी.
Okay. So atra thank you. So atra kotidvayam muktam. Nama, it's a little bit mixed up, their qualities as well as, you know, what their characteristics are. It's in a prose order, it's a little bit mixed up. So I made it in the sense, what to say, it's difficult to comprehend, you know. So I made it in a form easy, like later we'll discuss. But parantu anantaha jivaha tatasthaha etadvayam charchitam. Jīvākyaha, they are called as Jīvas. Vargadvayam asti atra. So first category is called Anaditaha eva Bhagavat Unmukaha. Some living entities are favorable towards Lord's service from beginning. Okay. And there is another category, Anaditaha Bhagavat Paranmukaha. Svabhavataha. Kimartam ityukte ekasya jnana asti. Nama tadiya jnana bhavat. So Bhagavatah jnanam tasmin asti ekasya, anyasya jnanameva nasti. Tadiya jnana abhavacha iti. Ataha, then there is examples of each of them. Antaranga Shakti, so because they have the knowledge of the Lord, then they are influenced by Antaranga Shakti and they start doing service to the Lord. Okay, Nitya Bhagavat Parikara Rupo Garudadayaha. Okay. And the other one, because they don't have knowledge for the Lord and they're exposed to the material energy, then there's a potential to enjoy. Then they start becoming unmukha towards the Lord. But then gradually, when they realize there is no enjoyment by the association of the devotees, then slowly they start becoming unmukha again. Then they start entering into the internal potency. So that's a whole cycle. And because paranmukha, because of that, there is a gap or slit, or because of the what to say gap actually. Because of chidra nama hole, because of the labda chidra, because the Maya Devi or Mahabaya got some chance, because of that, because of the gap, then she influences the jiva, paribhutaha nama, he becomes defeated and he becomes samsari, he becomes the enjoyer in this world, or he goes through the samsara cycle. Okay, that is the summary. So we'll discuss a little bit in detail. So this is what it is. So there is a spiritual world and there is a material world. This is what is. Mahavishnu is lying down here like that, and the whole material verse is created, and there are also other planets here like that. This is the Vaikunta planet, and there is Narayana here, and this is a Goloka where Radha Krishna and all the associates are there, and there are so many Vaikunta planets here. See, so that's the summon substance, and they are jivas serving in the spiritual world eternally, and there are some jivas going through cycle of birth and death, but there are some jivas who are serving also in the material world. So that's also they are in the process of going to the spiritual world. Okay. Yes. So now nityamuktaha. Okay. इत्युक्ते स्वभावतः तदीय ज्ञानभावात् अनादितः एव भगवत् उन्मुखः. So because they have the knowledge of the Lord from the beginning, therefore they are favorable towards Lord's service. Antaranga Shakti Vilasa Anugrihitaha. So they are bestowed, or they are Anugrihita means they are blessed. They are blessed by the Antaranga Shakti. Because of Antaranga Shakti, then they are able to serve the Lord, who is also in the internal potency. Okay. So while staying in the material potency, we cannot serve the Lord because he is fully spiritual. So we have to be influenced by the internal potency. Then only we can serve him. Nitya Bhagavat Parikara Rupaha. So all this living, there are, see in Vaikunta, everybody has four-handed forms. Everybody looks exactly like Vishnu. Only difference is Narayana has the Srivatsa, the white hair on his chest. Others don't have. But otherwise, everybody gets Sarup, Rupena Samyamasti. Tesham. Okay, and there is so much they love to serve the Lord. Even though their wives, everybody, are so beautiful, they don't get any attracted at all because there's so much love serving the Lord that they don't get distracted from their service to the Lord. Actually, so all of them together they serve the Lord.
Sarupya,
Okay, so
right?
there is,
Sarupya, right? Sarupya.
Sarupam. Yeah, Sarupyam, correct.
Sayujya, Sarupya, Samipya, like that, no?
Correct. Yes, there are 5 more liberations. Yes, Sarupyam, correct. Next one is Udaharana Garudadikaha. Okay, Garuda is here. So Itya is a jiva, but he is a eternal servitor of the Lord. So they don't ever feel I want to do something else other than service to the Lord. That's why they become the Nitya Muktaha. Okay, they're always liberated. But they may come to this material world time to time for delivering the message of the Lord, but still they will never lose their service to the service to the Lord. They never forget and start enjoying, on their own like that. Okay, now Nitya Baddhaha. These are all what we are. So, Swabhavataha Tadiya Jnana Abhavat Anaditaha eva Bhagavat Paranmukaha. Because we are created, or rather we cannot say created, we didn't have the knowledge of the Lord. That's why we are exposed to the material world and we see so much enjoyment. We started enjoying. But at the same time, even in this material world, from the beginning, Lord has been sending messages through himself as avatars or through bhaktas. So many people saying there is another world outside where everybody is happy serving me. So if you wish to come, please come there. So that's a time and again, he reminds us, right? But we are so enamored with the enjoyment what we have that until when Jiva comes to a stage of frustration that, oh, actually, I'm not satisfied, I need something else. That's when, he starts taking the bhakti or spiritual path seriously. Until that time, he will be happy enjoying in this material world. Okay, that's why it is said that even the hog, or varaha, not varaha, we don't say. What do you say Sanskrit name for pig, Raja? Hog? Unmute.
वराह
न जानामि
Oh, varaha eva. Okay. Anyat asti ekanama. Ika varaha nama varaha avatara eva smarati swarami yatah.
किटिः
Okay.
किटिः
I don't know. Okay, leave it. So even the hog enjoys eating the stool. Like for example, we humans have elevated consciousness. So when we see such petty enjoyment, we feel, oh, what is this? This guy, so bad things it's doing, so dirty. We think, but the hog is relishing. That's what it likes. There's nothing more than that for him. Actually, there was a pastime. Maybe I don't know all the details. If somebody somebody gets cursed or something, and then they become a hog, then the sadhu comes and tells him, oh, hey, you are such an elevated soul, you was some position in the material world as administrator, and you have become like this. No, this is not your service, come back and serve your lord. Say, no, I'm so happy, actually I'm so happy. So that's how the Maya, it has two Shakti, right? Avaranatmika Shakti, apitu, Vikshipta Atmika Shakti. Vikship, Vikshiptatmika Shakti. So because of that, it covers, first of all, he covers his original identity so that he can continue his enjoyment, and then he makes him mad, thinking that he is another person. Okay? So that's how the completely is fully influenced. Actually, there is it's like as these girls, right? These are three modes. They're pulling like a puppet. We are acting. We feel actually we are doing everything, but all the time during the day also we see we are influenced by the modes. Modes are pulling us. Sometimes we are happy. Sometimes we are sad. Sometimes we are passionate. Sometimes we are all these things. All we are influenced by the modes. So samsari, katam samsari bhavati ityukte karma baddha. So karmana saha baddha bhavati. नाम यद्यत् करोति तस्य विपरीत नाम रियाक्शन स्वीकरणीय भवति. अतः no escape. Whatever you do, either good things or bad things, you have to face the reaction. If you start doing donation and giving something thinking this is good, but you are accruing pious karma. To accrue that, to burn that pious karma, you have to go to higher planets and enjoy, and then come back again to the Bhuloka. Only in the Bhuloka, or in this thing, is the chance for a living entity to escape the cycle of birth and death. Because even in the higher planets, all we are doing is we are burning up our pious karma, and in the lower planets we are suffering our bad karma. Like their Patala, Vitala, Sutala, Patala is there. Okay. Finally, we finish all that, and then Jiva gets a chance to come to the earthly planets, where there is a fruitive activities, where there is a choice. Now you decide what to do. Again, if you still want to enjoy, you do some piety, everything, get more pious. Again, go to heavenly planets, still come back. Like that, keep going like this. But there is a way we can still do activities within this material world without getting that karma. That is called akarma. That is when when we do all the activities in relation to the Lord, it becomes akarma. That's what we'll discuss in the sadhana section. So that's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma bhavana loka punaravartino arjuna. What is the next line, Maharati?
मां पेत कौन्तेय पुनर्जन्मनि विद्यते सूकरः
Sukara, correct. Okay, Shukara. Shukara, Sava, Shava.
सूकरः
Sukara, okay. So from that Brahma, Chaturbhum Brahmataha, apitu Kita Paryantam, Sarve Karma. Chaturmukha Brahma Taha, apitu Kita Paryantam, Sarve Karma Vashyaha, apitu Maya Vashyaha. So they all are going through this cycle of birth and death. Okay. एकः तयोः खादति पिप्पलान्नम् इति वयं चर्चितं खलु. नाम शरीरे पक्षिद्वयं वर्तते. Okay, one is eating the fruits of the material world, which is its own karmic reactions. Other one is just watching. Paramatma is just watching. It's waiting when the soul will turn and say, enough, please show me the way, how to serve you. Then he guides. The same Paramatma, now he will guide. Okay, here are the associates, here are the devotees. You do have the Sangha, you do some bhakti like that. Mayaya yantre arudani brahmayan sarva bhutani iti uktam Bhagavad Gita. So how the samsara is happening is, it's as if they are sitting on a machine situated by Maya. Yantra nama machine. Arudani means they are put there. They are put there on a machine by Maya and they are roaming. Brahmayan. Upari adaha gachanti. Sarva bhutani, sarva living entities.
एतद् भगवद्गीतायां नास्ति.
अस्ति अत्र अहं प्रोज ऑर्डर मध्ये स्थापितवती. Okay, directly it doesn't come like this. You read this verse. Okay, that's assignment for you. Open Bhagavad Gita, read this verse and tell me later. Okay, yeah. Okay, next one is Abrahma Bhavana Loka Punaravartino Archana. Etadvayam Charchitam, Masmabhi Charchitam. Apitu Tapatrayam Anubhavati, Jivaha. Tapatrayam Namake Ityukte, threefold miseries iti katyante. Adhyatmika kleshaha, adi bhautika kleshaha, adi what is this? Adi daivika klesha. Adi daivika kleshaha. Vadatu Narsima.
भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
Sampurnam vadatu.
आम्, ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशे दुरतिष्ठति. भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
Idanim avagatam va? Okay. So Adi Atmik Klesha Nama, the miseries caused by one's own body and mind. Okay. Adi Bhautik, the miseries caused by other living entities like mosquitoes or maybe, our family members, they trouble us, like my sons, they trouble me, like that. Adi Bhautika, Adi Bhautika. Next, or Adi Daivika Nama, yet floods, like, or accidents or something which are beyond our control, which are orchestrated by the potencies, who are organizing or who are administrating this universe, right? So this is like collective karma. Because of the influence of collective karma, suddenly these accidents happen where all the karma of everybody comes together of this, flight crash or whatever it is. At one shot, the karma gets executed. Okay, so that is all Adi Daivika. So all this klesha sarvada anubhavati jivaha अस्मिन् प्रपञ्चे. उदाहरण संसारे भोगिनः. संसारे भक्ताः अपि सन्ति खलु, ते न अनुभवन्ति, नित्यबद्धाः. परन्तु संसारे ये भोगिनः सन्ति ते नित्यबद्धाः भवन्ति. नित्यबद्धाः नाम they are bound basically. There is no way you can exit, at least as it is, if you don't change something, but there is a way out. Okay, that's what we are interested in. So katam va nityabaddaah nityamuktaah bhavanti ityukte एवं पंजर सीमा भगिनी पठितुं शक्नोति वा?
पठामि. एवं पञ्जरबन्धोऽयं जीवः शोचति सर्वदा, कदाचित् सत्प्रसङ्गेन तस्य मोक्षो विधीयते.
So we discussed what is the misery. Jiva katam kleshan anubhavati iti vayam charchitam. Sarvada shochati nama lamentation. Sarvada, okay? Bandhaha, panjara bandhaha, as if he is encaged in a cage. The cage of this body, and there is no way escape out. Some people are so suffering so much in this body that because of the relationship with wife or husband, that they feel actually suicide is much better than living the life. That's how frustration people are experiencing. Okay, so that's why they're bandhaha in this panjara of this cage of this body, and also entirely the whole material creation actually as a bigger. It's said that the material world is like a prison without walls. It's like that. And the walls, the four walls actually is the birth, death, old age and disease, like that. So we have to go through all this. Parantu kadachit sat prasangena nama sadhu sangena tasya moksho vidiyate. That is the way to go towards moksha. Key is the sadhu sangha. Okay, that's what we will discuss little bit. Kadachit nama kim yadrichaya iti uktam asti. Bhagavate yadrichaya nama tasya icha yata ichati. Jiva eva ichati nama enough alam idanim mama bahu abhavat santosha eva na santosham na praptam atha kimapi anyat asti va iti saha eva pruchati. अथातो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा इति कथ्यन्ते खलु तथा एव सः पृच्छति तदा सः एव then because it desires, then Lord fulfills that by giving the sangha. Okay, another way is hetuna vina, sometimes causelessly, because of the devotees are so merciful, bhaktas are so merciful that they understand that jivas are suffering on their own, they come in contact with the jivas. So they come and distribute on the road, the books, or they do sankirtan, or they create environments where this topics of the Lords can be discussed. That's how some or the other who is fortunate, suddenly they get chance. Even they say, as we discussed last time, Shraddhaya Helaya Va. Even with faith or just by jokingly, if you utter the name of Krishna, one begins a path of liberation. So like that, that situations are created by merciful devotees. Somehow that's how they start getting this bhakti sukruti little by little. Okay. Then another verse is given: sadhu sangha sarva shakti sarva shastra koe lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoye. So little bit sarva shastra koe. So all the shastras are telling that lava matra, little bit of sadhu sangha also can give us sarva siddhi, all the siddhi. Okay. Next one is what happens in sadhu sangha? That's what we're discussing here. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hridkarna rasayana kata tajjoshanadashvu ashvapavargavartmani shraddharathir bhaktiranukramishyati. Bhagavate uktamasti katam kim bhavati sadhu sanghe ityukte satam prasangat mama virya samvidaha. Okay, tad prasange, tad sadhu sange किं भवति इत्युक्ते ते सर्वदा भगवतः वीर्याणि एव गायन्ति. संविदः नाम सम्भाषणानि, सम्यक् वदनम् इति संविदम्. ओके, ते सर्वदा भगवतः चर्चा एव कर्तुम् इच्छन्ति, चर्चामेव कर्तुम् इच्छन्ति. अतः तस्मिन् सन्दर्भे तस्मिन् सङ्गे तस्यापि कथाः, भगवतः कथाः हृत्कर्ण रसायनाः भवन्ति. नाम रसायनाः नाम बहु रोचनीया भवति, बहु आनन्ददायकाः भवन्ति. तद् जोषणात् नाम तत् अनुपालनेन यत् कथा शृण्मः चेत् पुनः इन्स्ट्रक्षन्स् भवति खलु, एतत् करणीयम्, एतत् करणीयम्, एतत् श्रद्धा नाम एतत् पठनीयं, भागवतं पठनीयम् इति तत् अनुपालनेन आशु क्विक्लि अपवर्गवर्त्मनि स्टार्ट्स् गोयिङ्ग् इन् द पात् आफ् अपवर्ग. पवर्ग नाम किं? मा. This is described very nicely. Actually, I didn't note down. So, pa nama parishrama. Pa nama parishrama. He does lot of endeavor. Pa nama phena. He foams because of the lot of endeavor. He foams. Okay. Pa ba. Then he experience. I think I forget this one, but lot of labor actually. Experience a lot of labor. And bha. Mahaprana bha is bhayam. And bhayam anubhavati. Okay, I will die anytime. So
What
many
means
things.
labor?
Okay? Labor means burden. He experiences a lot of burden. Okay. Then bhayam and ma, mrityu. So this is pavarga. Pavarga means a cycle of birth and death. Pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. Okay, mrityu. But apavarga is na pavarga iti apavarga. Okay. So that means we are actually going in the path of liberation, apavarga. Welcome Ramani Bhagini. So uktavati aham VSF class samapya agacchami iti.
Namaste Bhagini.
Namaste. Okay. So vayam etavata जीवस्य कोटिद्वयं चर्चितं. नाम नित्यबद्धाः इति, नित्यमुक्ताः इति, तेषां नाम लक्षणानि चर्चितं. nityabaddaah vayam sarve bhavanti. So katam va nityabaddaah nityamuktaah bhavitum arhati iti idanim चर्चयन्तः स्मः. अत्र साधुसङ्गेन आरब्धं. नाम यदा सः जीवः साधुसङ्गं प्राप्नोति यदृच्छया, नाम भगवतः इच्छया, तस्य इच्छया वा, नो चेत् causelessly somehow the jiva gets association of devotees, that is when bhaktas or vaishnavas, then he understands that bhagavataha virya samvidaha, nama virya gitani, virya sambhashanani, bhagavataha, his exploits, his how he kills the demons or how what activities he does, all this kataha saha shrunoti. Shrutva kim bhavati ityukte hrutkarna rasayanaha, ते कथाः तस्य हृदि अपि तु हृत्कर्णयोः बहु रोचनीयाः भवन्ति. अतः तद् अनुपालनेन आशुं नाम क्विक्लि अपवर्गवर्त्मनि भवति. नाम अपवर्गे सः उन्नति करोति, प्रगति करोति. अपि तु यदा सः अपवर्गे नाम मोक्षमार्गे प्रगति करोति, श्रद्धा भवति आदौ अग्रिम gradually, as I said, Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, Nishta, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava. Rati is also like Bhava. And Bhakti, then finally the final devotional service directly with the Lord. Bhakti Anukramishyati, Pramena Bhavishyati. Iti Tatparyam. Okay, so this is what Eta Katha Asti Atra. Etad. Okay, this is Narada Muni's story. Kopi vaktum shaknoti va, Narasimha va, Maharati va. Maharati bhavatah video kim abhavat? Maharati?
Kim?
Where is he? Okay, he's there. Okay. Etad vaktum shaknoti va? Naradasya katam va saha nama. Can you tell the story?
That kim asti?
No, he. Okay, so I will only tell. Why is resounding?
अहं वदामि.
या वदतु नरसिंह. वदतु नरसिंह.
नारदः इंग्लिश पद्य in English or Sanskrit?
Yeah, you can tell in English.
Narada was the son of one maid servant, and one time they were at home, and it was rainy season, so some four sadhus came. Some four sadhus came to their home, and then they came there, and then Narada Muni, when he was small, he gave food for them, and then he served them nicely, and they were happy, and they told him how to chant everything.
Yeah, so what happens is chaturmasya iti bhavati kalu tatra 4 months. That long they were staying there, and being maid servant, they were all engaged in the service. Narada Muni, son of the maid servant, he was engaged in the service of the sadhus, and they were so pleased that one point they gave him the remnants of their food. And then Narada Muni says, actually, because of that, he started becoming attracted to the service they're rendering, like the kathas, they're discussing about the Lord, became so attracted that actually that he became very, very elevated very quickly. And then finally, when the sadhus went, by the course of time or divine intervention, his mother passes away because of the snake bite. But even then, even though he was 5-year-old, he was not disturbed because he already fixed in transcendental knowledge, and he just walks out of the home. he goes to the forests and towns everywhere, and in searching for, because already they gave them the process of how to perfect his life. So he started following that path, and he started doing meditation. It's so much that Lord himself appears in front of Narada Muni, and then he becomes very ecstasy experiences. But then Lord says, you're not yet perfect, so you cannot see me fully. You perfect your bhakti more, then you can finally, when you quit his body, your body, you can come to me. So he continues his devotional service like that, and at the end, when he becomes finally mature in his devotional service, he quits his body and immediately he attains the spiritual body, and he becomes the son of Brahma, Narada Muni. So this is what Narada Muni explains as his past life in fourth chapter, fifth chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. Okay, so that gives the potency of association of devotees. Now, how by causeless mercy of devotees, so one person who is fertile, who is receptive, and who is able to take advantage of it can actually um, completely get perfect and liberated. Okay. So, okay, sajjananam prasangat kataha bhavanti, कीदृशः ताः कथाः इत्युक्ते मम वीर्य संविदः, मम mahatmyasya samyak vedanam jnanam yabhyah. From which kathas we can get the complete knowledge of the Lord's mahatmyas, means his exploits or his great activities. Okay, hritkarna rasayanaha, hritkarnanam rasayanaha sukadaha. Okay, so they gave happiness to the heart as well as the ears. Okay, tasam joshanat sevanat kim bhavati ashu ityukte, by hearing or by serving the instructions given in the kathas, what happens ityukte apavarga vartmani, apavarga nama kim, avidya nivritti vartma yasmin tasmin harau. Okay, harau saha harau harehe bhaktyam saha unnati pragatihi karoti, because that is the path of getting out of this avidya. Avidya karanatah eva vayam chachitam kalu, bhagavataha jnana abhavena vayam we are enjoying, but because of that bhakti will give that will remove that avidya. So because of that, now Vidya will come, because it's given in Bhagavatam. Because of Bhakti, Jnanam, Vairagyam, both will come with Bhakti. So no need to endeavor separately for Jnana and renunciation. Just by doing Bhakti automatically, because we get the Param Drushtva, Param Rasam Drushtva Nivartante iti vayam chachitam kalu. Because we taste the higher taste of Lord's Rasas and Lord's Leelas, everything, automatically the Rasa we experience in this material world becomes pale. So we don't need to endeavor separately. All we have to do is do bhakti. Okay. Then what happens gradually makes progress. Shraddha rati bhakti kramena bhavishyati. Okay. That's chachitam. Okay. Jivan muktaha. Tada kim bhavati ityukte. Iha yasya hare dhasye karmana manasa gira nikilasvapi avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. So then he can become Jivan Mukta while in this world. How? Ityukte katam bhavati ityukte yah janaha iha loke karmana nama kayena manasa chittena gira vacha cha hareha sevam sarvada karoti. Sah janaha sarvasu avastasu api sukhe dukhe gruhe vane yatra kutrapi karma bandhanat vimuktah eva tishtati. This is the key. Key is to do akarma. Akarma means the one action which doesn't result in karma back. That akarma is nothing but whatever we do in bhakti or in connection to the Lord, that will become akarma. So bhakti doesn't mean just hearing about the Lord directly or chanting or kirtan, everything. All our activities can be dovetailed. It's called dovetail. Prabhupada uses the term dovetail in the Lord service. Like, if you're doing MA or if you're doing some field work or if you're doing some carpentry, everything we can do as a service to the Lord. Then all that activities becomes our offering to the Lord. Then it all gets connected and becomes akarma. So we just keep on doing our duties, but Ishvara Prityartham kartavyam chet karoti chet, then that all becomes gradually akarma, the extent of devotion we have in them, and then even become Jivan Mukta. Example atra asti ityukte, atra Srila Prabhupada whole, at the age of 65, he went to the West to give the knowledge to the Western world. And, he established 108 temples during his life. Rest of the, 14 years, he traveled the globe 14 times and he established 108 temples. And finally, when he realized that, his body is become old and it's not cooperating, he decided to leave the world. So he took up the fasting from water and fruit, and he was preparing to leave his body. But how he prepared? He was, until the last minute, he was translating the Srimad Bhagavatam, because he stopped at 10th canto actually in the middle. After that, he left the world. So until that last minute, he was, while, he is in the position of leaving the world, his consciousness is fixed. Like Bhishma Deva, right? How his consciousness is fixed. That to glorify Bhishma Deva, Krishna tells the Pandavas, you go to Bhishma and ask them, how to rule this world, how to do this, he knows all the knowledge, you go. So Krishna wanted to glorify Bhishma Dev, that his consciousness is so fixed, even though he is in the bed of arrows, experiencing so much pain, he's fixed. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada was demonstrating to us how his consciousness is fixed, even though, he's about to leave. He's spiritual, completely situated in the internal potency and doing service to the Lord. So that's the example of a Jivan Mukta. Okay, so next one, Ataha Saha Jivan Muktaha. Jivan Api Muktaha Bhavati. Okay, that is the clue. Just like they say, the water on the lotus leaf. The lotus, even the water is in lotus leaf, the lotus leaf doesn't touch the water. It's like that. Okay, yeah. Okay, so okay, Vayam Chachitam Jīva-tattvam iti tas Jīvasa swarupam kim apitu tasya lakshanani gunaha ke bhavanti iti chachitam apitu koti dvaye vayam nityabaddaha nityamuktaha iti chachitam apitu katam va nityabaddaha nityamuktaha bhavitum arhati iti api chachitam kinchit परंतु अग्रे तदेव भवति साधनानि इति वयं बहु we will discuss a lot of elements, because that is what we need, how I can now make progress, right? So there we will spend a lot of focus and discuss more about how we can from the Baddha stage gradually come to Mukta stage. इदानीं कोऽपि प्रश्नाः विमर्शाः वा सन्ति चेत् वयं किञ्चित् चर्चयिष्यामः. ओके, नो चेत् वयं ध्यानं अन्ते ध्यानं कुर्मः.
Bhagini?
वदतु
Actually,
रजनी.
I have a question about akarma.
Okay.
We are supposed to be offering whatever we do, even if it's a mundane task that we do every day in our daily life, we are supposed to do it as an offering. Is it enough if we do the offering after we finish the task? Because it's impossible to remember simultaneously while you're doing the task. You're always thinking that you're doing it. It doesn't, you don't remember that you're. So is it enough if we offer it after the task?
Yes, actually that's how we start. How much ever we try. See, even it's so, because we don't have that. See, they say remembrance comes with love. Generally, right? So we don't have that love. So we are like kind of forcing ourselves to remember somehow or the other. But that's how we start. Like, there is a very nice prayer. If you want, I can send you as a chat as well. What we do is, at the end of the day, after we do all the activities, of course, one thing is when we get up in the morning, we try to pay obeisances according to a Vaishnava culture. What we do is we pray to our spiritual master and the Guru Parampara, and we say Hare Krishna mantra at least once. And we also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, there is a very nice shloka he tells us to tell, which is like Krishna, 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 hey. Even if without bath, anything, even if you are unclean, as soon as you get up, first you remember Krishna. That's what he tells. So that's how we begin our day. And then consciously, as much as possible, we tried to do our activities as offering to the Lord. Okay, that's one thing. And at the end of the day, before we sleep, we tell the shloka. The shloka, Maharati vadatu shloka.
यत् कृतं यत् करिष्यामि यत् करोमि जनार्दन तत् कृतं
Tat tvadartam.
तत्त्वदर्थं कृतं सर्वं त्वमेव फलं भवेत्.
Okay. So this says yat krutam, yat maya krutam, yat karishyami, yat aham karishyami agre, yat karomi, yat idanim kurvati asmi, tad tvadartam, tad tvadartameva krutam sarvam and arpanam. Tvameva phalabhuk bhavet. Let you be the enjoyer of all of this. So actually, Narsimha, he was my son Narsimha. He somehow caught the message. Amma, looks like whole day I can do anything. End of the day, I will tell this is for Krishna. This seems like a shortcut, like that. Now, of course, sincerity is needed. So we know there are some things which cannot offer to Krishna, right? We cannot eat meat and say, "Oh, Krishna, I did for you." But still, this is called aropa siddhi bhakti. So you aropa the bhakti on top of your activities, basically. Aropayati. So this is what we do at the end of the day. So somehow or the other, little bit, we are making progress, and gradually the consciousness awakens that, hopefully we will, when the love awakens, that we will not even be able to forget Krishna even for a moment, that eventually we will get it. Is it okay, Bhagini?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. So etadvayam, okay, Ramani Bhagini, you'll be able to sing this shloka?
स्मेरां भङ्गी त्रयपरिचितां साचि विस्तीर्ण दृष्टिं वंशीन्यस्ताधर किशलयाम् उज्ज्वलां चन्द्रकेण गोविन्दाख्यां हरितनुम् इतः केशे तीर्थोपकण्ठे मा प्रेक्षिष्ठास्तव यदि सखे बन्धुसङ्गे स्थिरङ्गः.
So sakham prati ekah vadati yadi sakhe he sakhe yadi bandhu sange rangah namaratihi attachment. If you have attached to enjoying your friends, then ma prekshishtaha ma pashyatu kam na ma pashyatu ityukte haritanum ma pashyatu haritanum na pashyatu iti vadati. हरितनुः कीदृश अस्ति इति अग्रे वर्णयन्ति. तद् वयं क्षणैः एतत् चित्रं we got it from the whatever the UI, what is that called, AI made generated, try to get this one. Okay, so हे सखे इतः सकाशात् गच्छतः तव यदि स्वजन संयोगे आसक्तिः अस्ति चेत्, okay, so if you want to enjoy with your friends, केशि तीर्थस्य समीपे Haritanu ma pashyatu. Don't see. Actually, it's called a viparita nyaya. It's actually telling you see the Lord, Kidrisham tattanum ityukte smeram manda hasatah tasya. So it's slightly smiling. Okay. Bhangi traya parichitam. Tribanga bangimna prasiddham. So he is famous. That is threefold. He bends his body in three places. One is at the feet, one is at the waist, and one is at the head. Okay. So Tribangi iti tasya nama bhavati. Atah sa prasiddha. Tad namna prasiddha. Sachi vistirna drushtim. Sachi nama vakra. Vakra means angled, or what is a crooked vision, they say, right? Like, or sidelong glance. He looks from the side like this. We discussed in the earlier sessions also, right? Like as Krishna enters the Vrindavan from the cowherding, the gopis are exchanging sidelong glances, and he is also explaining what is that called. पीत्वा मुकुन्द मुकसारगमक्षिभृङ्गै तापं जुहोति व्रजयोषितोऽह्नि तत्सत्कृतिं समधिगम्य विवेशगोष्ठं सव्रीडः सविनयं तदपाङ्गमोक्षं. Savrida, they are expressing Vrida, shyness. Vridaha savinayam. So they are expressing humility and smiling, the girls. And apanga moksham, they are also exchanging sidelong glances with the Lord. So similarly, he is also vaktra drishya pashyati. Yatohi, lot of gopas are there and his brother is there along with him. So Krishna doesn't want to reveal his personal feelings in front of everybody. So he just looks at them in a side, like, very, very sidelong way. Okay. So then, Vamshi Nyasta Adhara Kishalayam. Vamshyam Upari. So Vamshyam Upari. Nyasta Pallavam Iva Komalam Adharam Yasmin. So he is talking about his upper lip. So the upper lip is placed on top of the flute. Okay. And his lips are like Kishalayam. Nama is like Nutana Pallavam Iva, very tender asti. Apitu very kempu. Nama is very reddish. Okay. Komalam Adaram asti. Okay. Yasmin Tanum. Yasmin Tanu. Okay. Chandrakena Ujvalam. So he is being illuminated by the Chandra's rays. Okay. Chandra Rashmayaha. Chandrena Deeptimantam. Okay. Govindakyam. Govindasya iti prasiddha namnaha tanu. Okay. His name is also Govinda. Okay. So that's the thing we memorize, we remember Krishna. So if at all we like to enjoy this world, please don't go to Keshi Ghat and look at Krishna in his threefold bended form, playing his flute and wearing Vaijayanti garland, wearing peacock feather, and sweetly smiling and extending his sidelong glances. But people who want to achieve him, please go to Keshi Ghat and look for everywhere. Krishna, where are you? Where are you? And hopefully, he will give his darshan to us. Then, our path to go back to our love for Krishna increases. So that's the, sum and substance, and that's the dhyanam for us. Okay. So etavata samapitum shaknumaha. Sri Krishna arpanamastu. Shri Krishna arpanamastu.